This perp back with another video, and I finally got around to checking out. I saw the TV Glow. This is a PG-13 horror movie, but it's more of on the psychological side of things. I'm not going to go into any spoilers because this is a very fascinating movie. I was very intrigued by this movie. I tried to know as little as possible. I barely watched the trailer anytime it came on during the previews, and just something about it was just interesting, and I'm glad that I went out and saw this. Now, this is starring Justice Smith, which I've never been the biggest fan of him as an actor, but in this, it's kind of 50-50. There's things that he does that irritate the fuck out of me just as a person. I know it's just, but there's also another side of it where I really enjoyed his performance. And then you also have Bridget Payne. I know she has like a middle hyphen in or something like that. I forget exactly what it was, but she plays Maddie in this. Justice plays Owen, and we have Ian Foreman. You might recognize him from Raising Isaiah. He plays the younger version of Owen. And this movie is very bizarre, just off the rip. Just the tone of it. It's very clean. You're just in this weird, awkward suburb, and it really matches the characters as well. And I could see the whole monotone vibe that you get off these characters being an issue for some people, or being an issue that people can't really connect with. But the fascinating thing about this story is you have Owen and Maddie, which they are fans of this very popular 90s show called The Pink Opinka or something. I forget how you really pronounce that last name, but anyways, it's a very popular 90s show. And I remember seeing on social media or on like Twitter people comparing this to like Are You Afraid of the Dark and a mixture of different other 90s things, which I definitely got that vibe, as far as how they, explained what the show was. It's about these two, psychic characters that fight off like a monster of the week, which very much seems like a Are You Afraid of the Dark type of trope. They even have little callbacks of Justice Smith's character, Owen, sitting by like a campfire and, throwing certain things out onto that, whatever that powder is that they use in Are You Afraid of the Dark. But what I found interesting about this, right, and I think that it's going to be very mixed for people, is just the theme and what this movie is going for. Because you could definitely easily get lost in a movie like this, and it's definitely not going to probably be for everybody. But as the movie kind of progressed, I understood what they were going for. We get the introduction of Owen and Maddie's character and how they met, and also what's interesting is just Owen at a young age getting introduced to something supernatural or horror, or just latching onto your favorite TV show or movie or whatever it could be. And I feel like a lot of people can kind of connect with that. So throughout the movie, it's constantly jumping around in time, and there's a purpose for that. And also I feel like it can kind of turn people off with them kind of jumping through time, but there's a purpose to that, like I said, where I feel like the theme of this whole movie is growing up, and kind of reflecting on your own life, especially now that I'm in my 30s and I kind of look back at things, speaking of like Are You Afraid of the Dark, I remember being terrified of certain things when I was younger, but then when you're older, you kind of see things differently looking back at those old 80s or 90s shows. You could do that with movies as well, and it doesn't have the same effect. And I really like how they kind of really put that on display throughout this whole entire movie. And why I really like this movie, the more I kind of think about it, it just takes a while to kind of get to the point where I feel like it's a very slow burn, but if you kind of just pay attention and just kind of be patient, I think you'll understand what this movie is trying to tell you. Even though, with that being said, I still think that this is not going to be a movie for everybody, for the general audience. Maybe it might, wow people. Some people might go into this thinking that, oh, this is supposed to be a super scary movie with generic jump scares. No, this is more on the psychological end of things, and I like how it deals with escapism as well. There's a lot of interesting themes that this movie is playing around with that, if you kind of just look at it on a surface level, you'll probably miss those things that they're trying to tell you within the story. Overall, I really enjoyed this movie. The more I think about it, would I watch this again? Maybe in time. I think over time, for the people that didn't really enjoy this, they'll probably like it as time goes on. It might be one of those movies that it doesn't really click with people till like 5 or 10 years later, because I definitely think that this is kind of a movie for not only millennials, but also like the Gen Z and the generation after that, just the themes that they kind of just are tackling. And I also like just the way that this movie is shot cinematically, and how they utilize the actual show that they're talking about in the movie, giving us these dope 90s visuals, like you're actually watching an old sitcom or old TV show with that whole grainy look, and just the way it was shot. It was dope, man. I liked it. Is it my favorite movie of the year? There's still tons of movies still to come out. It's definitely one of the better movies in my opinion, but I'm curious to see how other people think about this movie. It's definitely going to be a divisive type of film. You're either going to love it or you're going to hate it, or you're probably going to be in the middle of it, liking certain things. I would have honestly preferred this as like a limited series or something like that. Who knows? And I didn't expect to see Fred Durst in this movie. When I saw the credits, I was just like, that's who was playing his father? That was pretty fucking funny. But let me know how you guys feel about this movie in the comments below. Till next time, I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.